Hello, welcome to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. This is your host, Iggy. Yay. Thank you for that. Guys, I don't even know where to begin with this one. This one started out as a whim. I was on eBay looking at different things. I was looking for a elastilin medieval fortress or castle, if you will. And I stumbled upon something called Castle of the Noble Knights. And the guy had like 20 of them and he was going to sell it for $20. But it said make an offer. So I just put in $17 and immediately it came back saying that my offer was accepted. And that really surprised me. I didn't expect him to accept such a ridiculously low offer. What we have here is something called Castle of the Noble Knights. It comes in a lithographed box, which you see here. And it says it's made by Marx in the United States. However, this is extremely misleading because this is not the Marx toy company that we grew up with. This is, I'm not even sure if you could call it a successor because it's not connected to the original Marx toy company. There was a fellow that I was at the West Coaster, and a guy told me that a guy had purchased the name, rights to the name, and started producing play sets in the 1990s. And he released a Fort Apache set, a Battleground set, this set, and I think an Alamo set. However, a lot of them were disappointing in that they didn't have original Marx figures. For instance, the Fort Apache came with NPC 7th Cavalry in a powder blue instead of the original Marx figures. It did come with the Marx Indians, but not the cavalry. In the Battleground playset, it came with NPC Germans and vehicles, and virtually none of the original accessories from the Battleground set. The only thing that was the same was the name. So you have to be very careful when buying something from this company made in the 1990s. I once went on a website dedicated to this company and saw the things they had for sale. They had the Marx service station and the Cape Canaveral playset, but I don't think he's in business anymore. I haven't seen it. I could be wrong. If you know if they are or not, leave a comment. I would appreciate knowing that. So the set came with quite a number of things. It came with these powder blue knights, knights in white satin. No, that's a dumb joke, Icky. I know, but maybe if I just move on, they won't notice. What was I talking about? Boogie Nights? No. Booger Nights? No. Anyway, there's silver, powder blue, bronze, and black knights. Here's an example of the black knight, the bronze knight, and the silver knight. So it comes with, let's see, what was it? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 mounted figures. There's really not a shortage of things in this set. I think it comes with something like 200 pieces. You get 4 catapults, and you get the dining hall accessories, a whole bunch of dead trees, and tree stumps. Not only do you get the larger tree trunks, but you get the smaller one as well. This one is probably more suited for the playset. These look like redwood trees. Even have the red color. It comes with how many of these brick walls and stone walls? Not Stonewall Jackson. Sorry, I'm stonewalling you. I need to. How many? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those. Also has some accessories like here's a harp and a quiver. I quiver when I look at stuff like that. A crossbow, a treasure chest. I like these here. It's very Robin Hoody. Is that even a word? Robin Hoody. A couple of battering rams, a pot over the campfire, some ladders. And I believe these accessories came with the original Marx Robin Hood playset and also their medieval playsets. The Marx put out one with Knights versus Vikings, and quite frankly, I thought that's what I was buying. When I looked at the picture, I thought these powder blue knights were the Vikings. But it turns out none of them are from Minnesota. You know, when customers buy a box of mini sodas, I always tap the box and say, hello. And they ask, what are you doing? And I said, I was just checking to make sure St. Paul wasn't in the box. And they go, what? So, well, yeah, St. Paul's in Minnesota. Yeah. It usually is met with disdain and boredom. There's something about my age group that thinks it's funny, and it's not. But we're all issued the same joke book, and nobody laughs. But there you have it. Now, I wish I could give you more detail. I never had any of the Marx Knights or anything when I was a kid. I have to say now, speaking as an adult, I prefer the Airfix Knights, which I think are very well done. In fact, when I discovered Airfix figures, they're 132, I thought, man, these are like the Rolls Royce of toy soldiers. That's what I thought back in the day. I had not ever seen a Britain's Swap It figure at that time. I didn't know anything about Swap Its, even though I did own a couple of mounted knights, Swap It knights, but I completely forgot about them. It wasn't until I was an adult that I remembered that I had those. I don't have them any longer, though. They're gone, long gone, along with the toy box. I used to have a really cool toy box. It looked like cowhide and had 2 pistols on the side of it, kind of like that up there. That's my. I'm in the cowboy kitchen. I guess I should explain that. But as you know, these are sort of stereotypic looking figures. If you consult a book such as this, you find out quite quickly that the majority of soldiers during that time period did not equip themselves in this manner. It would have been too expensive. It cost a lot of money to field an army because they had to pay them and quarter them, and sometimes they had to supply them with arms. So usually they got a shield, a helm, and a spear. Now, knights were required to provide their own horses and armor and training, and they owed their lord their service. So it's kind of the medieval feudal system was quite complicated. Almost reminds me of a pyramid scheme where you have the king at the top, and then he has dukes and barons and knights and so on, and then freemen and then serfs. Uh, anyway, you can get a book like that and it explains all that. It's kind of late right now, so I'm kind of tired. Iggy is falling behind here because he's very sleepy today. Not that I did anything today. I was off of work because they cut my hours again. So I've been spending a lot of time sleeping, unfortunately, instead of being productive. You know, it's funny how you feel so much better when you get things done. And I think that's why I'm making this video tonight, so that I can feel like I've accomplished something, even if it's something as weak as this video. So I'm sorry to get medieval on your ass, as they said in Pulp Fiction. Do you know I never saw that movie? There's a lot of movies that are famous that I've never seen, like The Godfather, never seen it. Pulp Fiction, never seen it. The Exorcist, never seen it. What are some of the... There's a lot of movies that are quite well known that I've never seen. Lately, I've been watching a lot of 1940s detective movies, which are kind of comedies, called Boston Blackie. The plot is paper thin, or actually tissue thin, and all the things Boston Blackie does, and the police for that matter, is completely illegal and would end you up in jail, you know, searching premises with no warrants and arresting people without probable cause, only because he doesn't like them, kidnapping, taking people's property. It's pretty. If it's not felonies, it's definitely misdemeanors. But anyway, they're fun. And I like the way the women look. I like their hairstyles. Anyway, let's make it a good night. Slightly, Mo. Yeah, spread out. I want to thank you for getting Iggy with it. And for those of you who've enlisted in the Iggy Army, I want to thank you for doing that. I really appreciate that. And I think my next video is going to be, I think, the Alamo. I found my Alamo playset that I bought in 1995, which I think was produced by the same people that made this one here. Don't be fooled by that. Like I said, that's not the real Marx. It's someone who just bought the name. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Let's do a quick Passover so you can get a better idea. These, of course, are from the Marx mold, or they could be CTS copies. Of that, I am not certain. We drop down. So you can get a little tighter. And I just dropped a catapult on the ground. It just catapulted itself right off the table. So you see, Airfix would be a much superior sculpt than these fellas here, but I don't know. If you're not too picky, this could be fun. I didn't think I was ripped off by any means because of the medieval accessories that came with it and all the dead trees, which I can use for my World War II or Civil War soldiers. And the lithograph box, I really like that. By the way, this set came with this castle, only it was made of paper, and these parts were plastic, and they were all warped. This was made out of a card stock instead of a board or a heavy paper. So I actually threw it out. I probably shouldn't tell you that, but I have a tendency to, when I get mad at something, I throw it out. Anyway, uh, this could actually be used as a pile of cannonballs when you look at it. Maybe they're blueberries, but they're supposed to be stones for the catapults. Okay, guys, that's all I've got for you this time. This is Iggy saying thank you for going back in time with me to the Middle Ages, or the Dark Ages, if you will. Although I think the Dark Ages precede the Middle Ages. So we have the fall of the Roman Empire, followed by the Dark Ages, the Middle Ages, and then the Renaissance begins, I'm guessing, around the late 1300s or middle 1300s, something like that. Although they still wore armor in the 1300s. Okay, guys, that's all I got. I'll stop rambling. I'm very hungry, I think. So I'm going to have some fried spam and scrambled eggs. And then I think I'll watch another Boston Blackie movie and hit the sack. So in the meantime, guys, take care, and I'll see you when my next video when we remember the Alamo. Good night.